Welcome back to the World's Mayor Experience live from Limbe, Cameroon. I'm your host, Joshua T. Berglan. Today, we're looking at a $200 billion industry that, by almost every single metric, has structurally failed. I'm talking about the international aid and humanitarian sector. Every year, billions of dollars pour into crisis-affected communities. But what happens when the grant cycle ends? What happens when the NGO cameras leave? The funding leaves. And the community returns right back to baseline dependency. They remain dependent. The system is designed that way. But what if we stopped treating these people as victims and started treating them as creators? Today, I'm breaking down a radical new business plan I've created called the Sovereign Franchise. It is a blueprint for a global media network designed to replace charity dependency with permanent economic sovereignty. If you are an investor, if you are in the creator economy, if you care about global development or Web3, you need to hear this because we're not competing with the NGO model, we are replacing it. Let's start with the core concept. In the business plan, I described the sovereign franchise like this: not a charity, not a McDonald's, a global sovereign media network. Think of it like the Disney Corporation. Disney owns ABC, ESPN, and National Geographic. None of those channels look or even sound the same. ABC doesn't look like ESPN, but they are all powered by the exact same underlying infrastructure, and each channel makes every other channel more valuable. The sovereign franchise operates exactly the same way, but for marginalized communities. The franchise is the parent network providing the physical infrastructure, the digital tools, and the distribution architecture. Each physical location, whether it's in a conflict zone in Cameroon or a refugee camp in Uganda, is an independent channel. And inside that channel, every individual creator is their own show with multiple endless revenue streams. Let's talk about the market for a second, because the addressable market here is staggering. The global creator economy is projected to reach $480 billion by 2027. But who's locked out of that? There are 1.4 billion people across Africa. There are over 110 million displaced people globally living in refugee camps. There are 476 million indigenous people worldwide. These communities carry value the world has never seen. Indigenous farming knowledge that solves regenerative agriculture problems Western universities are still researching. Heritage textiles that command premium pricing in the global luxury markets. Music traditions that have not been heard yet outside of the region. Lived experiences from active conflict zones that international media will license at scale. The Western creator economy desperately wants this authentic culture. It's not underserved. It's completely unaddressed. And these creators are locked out simply by a lack of infrastructure. No broadband, no banking, and no electricity. So, how do we fix that? How does a hub actually work, and what does it cost? My business plan lays out what I call the triple pillar architecture. To deploy one hub, it costs exactly $32,591. That is a one-time cost to bring permanent economic sovereignty to a community. Here's exactly where that money goes. First, the physical sanctuary, $13,791. We use local artisans and local materials to build a secure structure. We inject capital directly into the community's microeconomy from day one. Second, the digital engine, $14,525. This buys solar generators, 4K cameras, professional audio, digital mixers, battery banks, and satellite internet. It's completely off-grid and censorship-proof. It operates even when the power grid fails. Third, human capital, $4,275. This covers logistics, nutrition, clothing, and school fees for the pilot cohort for creators. because I say over and over again, you cannot teach someone to build a media empire if they are hungry or terrified. Physiological safety comes before executive function, every time. Once that infrastructure is in place, the community runs it. I provide the education, a curriculum I call Media Company in a Box, and they provide the creativity, the culture, and the content. Now, here is the absolute game changer. Here is why this isn't YouTube and this isn't a traditional media network that extracts value from its talent. In the sovereign franchise, the creator keeps 80 to 90% of the revenue they generate. Let me repeat that. 80 to 90%. They build multiple revenue streams: podcasting, online courses, heritage brand merchandise, IP licensing, and token-gated Web3 content. The hub only retains 10 to 20% to maintain the shared tools, pay for the satellite internet, and keep the lights on. And this 80 to 90% split isn't just a promise written on a piece of paper. It is enforced by our operating system, which I call artificial governance. We use Web3 smart contracts on the blockchain to automate royalty distributions. It's code as law. No hub operator can renegotiate it. No one. No central administrator or corrupt local official can intercept the funds. The smart contract automatically routes the money directly to the creator's digital wallet. If this sounds theoretical to you, I promise you it's not. The network is already live. Channel 1 is in Bafut, Cameroon, right in the middle of the Anglophone crisis. The Norwegian Refugee Council classified this as the #1 most neglected displacement crisis on Earth. On Earth! I'm on the ground here right now, partnered with Princess Abumbi of the Bafut Royal House. She is the architect. I'm just the bridge builder. Channel 2 is in Nakivale refugee. The Channel 2 is in the Nakivale refugee settlement in Uganda, led by Pastor Bob of Matonia Hope of Tomorrow. It's one of the largest refugee settlements in the entire world. Why start there? Because these are maximum difficulty environments. If the Media Company in a Box framework works here, and it is working, no one can claim it only works in privileged environments. And we are expanding rapidly. Phase 1 includes what we call the Cameroon corridor. We are in active partnership development to deploy hubs in Buea, the education hub, Limbe, the coastal port city, Bamenda, the epicenter of the crisis, and Yaoundé, the national capital. This contiguous corridor provides the model works across English and French-speaking regions and across rural and urban divides. So what is the long-term roadmap? And what is the exact capital ask? Our ultimate goal is 500 media hubs worldwide. At full scale, the network projects it will support over 12,500 active creators, generating over 250 million annually. To get there, I'm raising 30.5 million across 3 gated phases. No single funder has to commit to the full amount. Phase 1 is happening right now. A $500,000 raise to deploy the first 10 hubs, heavily focused on that Cameroon corridor. We establish proof of replication. Phase 2 asks for $5 million to scale to 100 hubs, proving the model across multiple continents. And Phase 3 is a $25 million raise to complete the 500 hub network. Here is the unlock for investors. Because of that 10 to 20% hub revenue share, after Phase 3, the entire global network becomes structurally self-sustaining. The network treasury will fund its own future expansion. No more fundraising required. We are building a machine that will eventually pay for itself. As I wrote in the business plan, the cameras are not coming, the funding is not coming, so we are building something that does not need either to survive. Because the community will own every lens, every microphone, and every story. The charity model broadcasts the wound to attract pity. The sovereign franchise broadcasts the scar to attract investment, partnership, and lasting economic relationships. Hope and resilience are far more valuable commodities than despair, and they never run out. There are 3 ways you can join this network today. Path 1, you can book a sovereign architecture consultation with me. I will help you build your own media platform, and every dollar of that consulting revenue deploys directly to the hubs in Cameroon and Uganda. You build your empire, they build theirs. Path 2, direct mission funding. If you are an investor or a foundation, you can fund an entire hub for $32,591, or you can fund specific equipment tiers starting at $50. Path 3, personal support. I am personally funding my presence on the ground in Cameroon right now. No salary, no NGO backing. If you want to help support me directly to keep me housed, fed, and mobile while I do this work, you can donate to my GoFundMe. But truthfully, I'd rather you hire me. You can find the links to all of this, along with the full transparent business plan and unit economics at my website, joshuatberglan.com. That's Joshua T. Berglan.com. Surrendered power builds what force never could. We are not here to save the world. We are here to hand the world a microphone and let it save itself. The meek shall rise together. Thank you for tuning in to the World's Mayor Experience. I'm Joshua T. Berglan. Now go do what you were created to do. And I'll see you next time.